step forward, the real Lucas North. Yeah, I mean, no one expected that. And this is the first time that you've had the lead spook actually not be who he appears to be.
Yeah, all the relationships you build up and all the things you've done together throughout the series, it's brilliant because you realise, yeah, later on that all those things are just, he's playing a character the whole time.
You okay?
He's killed this guy, Lucas North. He's taken over his identity. He's infiltrated the MI5. He's become someone that he wants to be, but, you know, he's got this horrible background, so he's been running from the past.
He's totally torn as well because he adores Harry.
Whatever you need, Harry.
He's tried to become the man that he's masquerading as. He's tried to make good.
Yes, it's reveal after reveal, really. It's a millefeuille of deception.
Go and get yourself cleaned up. I'll speak to Harry.
Adam's exit was very much it all happened in one episode. Bang, 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 bang. Adam, heroic, saving the day. Oh my God, didn't survive. Whereas Lucas's downfall is over the 8 hours of the series.
This series, for me, is about peeling back Lucas North and finding John Bateman again. And what Lucas actually finds is not the man that he was. There's a character in episode 8 called Alex that describes it as a chimera, and that's really what it is. It's an amalgamation of both of the characters, and it's somebody new emerging.
Don't do this, Lucas. Please.
Lucas North is dead.
And that's really what episode 7 for me is about, the birth of who he's going to be in the future.
And the killer is awake.
I'm quite impressed watching Richard unravel him as the episodes are going by. Really small things he's doing to watch this character who seemed very straight and controlled and contained. Just see him breaking down. I think he's been brilliant at doing that.
John Bateman was a bit of a lazy dropout, I think, and Maya was the worker. She was the studious one, and their relationship was tight, and they were made for each other.
And then John just disappears one day, and it completely rocks her world. And she hears that he's dead.
John realised that he wasn't going to be able to support her financially. He kind of got involved with this guy who was doing a drugs run, and he saw it as an opportunity to pick up some extra money. So he goes to Dakar and he gets caught and gets stranded out there and needs to pay his way back. So he meets this guy, Vaughan.
Bread number 9.
It's for you.
They start running courier jobs for the British government, one of which turns out to be an embassy bomb. 17 people die, 5 British citizens died.
Vaughan saw something in John Bateman which he thought could be manipulated, but he also saw something in John Bateman which probably Harry saw in John Bateman, stroke Lucas North, and which actually ultimately made a brilliant spy. He was someone who was capable of doing horrendous things and extraordinary things.
Vaughan's kind of the architect, but John is the engine driver. He knew what he was doing, and the creation of Lucas North after the event was very much John's doing.
He brutally murdered Lucas North.
Yeah, he did. I don't think there was any plan. I think he just needed the passport. He had to reinvent himself. He had to hide within the legend of Lucas North. I think he created somebody that he wanted to be, somebody that he aspired to be. In a way, it's quite hard to define because there is remorse there is guilt, but he did what he did. But I think he saw his creation of Lucas North as a way of paying his due in a way, and going to prison for 8 years. I think he feels that he's served his time for killing Lucas North, even though he's never been tried in a court of law. I think he believes that he's paid back.
How'd you get me back, Harry?
All these prison tattoos do tie into the John Bateman situation. The Nochi Seaton, know thyself. On his arm we have, I hear nothing, I see nothing, I say nothing to nobody. And while I live, I breathe, on the back of his neck. And on his chest is a William Blake painting, which is Urizen, God is the architect. So it's all about recreating himself, but at the same time not losing the truth inside. Interestingly, Lucas's relationships have failed. He's had this wonderful relationship with Elizaveta.
I loved you, but I love Russia too.
Sarah Caulfield.
This isn't fair, is it? Goodbye, Lucas.
Take me with you.
But the one relationship that he does hang on to, the person that reminds him who John Bateman was, is Maya.
Every woman he's probably been with since has been compared to Maya. It's his first love.
His central weakness is his love for this lady that in the end causes his downfall.
You were always very good at manipulating people, Vaughan.
Vaughan's been very clever, he's been very calculating, and he's used it to get what he wants and get to Lucas.
He's a psychological baddie. He's sort of, he's gets inside Lucas's worst nightmare and manipulates him. He knows his greatest fears, he knows sort of his weaknesses because we've got the shared history.
Vaughan delivers a suitcase with photographs in it. Maya happens to be one of the photographs. And there's this sort of shock reaction to seeing her again.
Right, who have we got here? So of course when he turns up, she's angry because I think she feels completely betrayed by him. But there's such a strong attraction, there's such a unspoken understanding between the two of them. It's a very passionate relationship. I don't think she can control it either, which is what scares her.
Suddenly it's like an awakening, and it's like John Bateman starts to kind of wake up and say, hang on, what about me? He finally realises that he can't really be Lucas North forever. It's already kind of shattering and crumbling, and he's trying to hang on to that because that's his life. At MI5, that's all he has really, and it's a strong place to be. It makes him feel good. Without that, he's a terrorist that would be captured and imprisoned. So he can't be there, and he can't be John Bateman either. So he's sort of in limbo. But Maya is the only thing that really feels real.
All those years I spent trying to forget, it just fell away. I had to see you.
If in episode 1, Lucas North, after he had got the suitcase from Vaughan, had said, Harry, this man's come back from my past and I've never told you this, I did this terrible thing. If he had made that choice then to go to Harry, I think his life could have been very different. And there's been moments all through the series, actually, if you look back through the episodes, where okay, he had a choice still then. He didn't have to go down the road he went down. But for some flaw in his psychology, Lucas North couldn't make those choices.
Where is she?
She's safe. Give me Albany and I'll have her released.
Not here.
Vaughan has been blackmailing Lucas to bring him a file called Albany, which is the file of all files.
What we see now is a kind of desperate final measure that he's been driven to, and I've been pushing him forward every step of the way.
He's here to manipulate Vaughan into giving Maya's location up.
That's one thing you never accounted for.
And what's that?
Dash. Don't make a fuss. I'm inches away from your main artery. Any sudden movements will be very bad for you.
It's a violent scene that happens in the middle of a very domestic setting. There are children and mothers and families around, and it's quite an intense piece.
Beth has discovered that he's not exactly who he says he is, so she's come out to kind of tail him, I guess.
Put the man down! Get out of the way!
Lucas, put the gun down!
Beth gets between Lucas and effectively the man who can lead him to the woman he loves. And he has to make a choice. Is he going to shoot her or is he not?
You idiot! You have no idea what you've done!
Tell me what I've done.
To me as a director, what I always have to do in scenes where somebody may or may not be hurt is try and persuade the audience that it's going to happen. And then somewhere out of that you can find the moment that it doesn't happen. But you have to get into the right zone where you believe it is going to happen for the scene to actually work.
Harry's never going to give you Albany.
Lucas uses Ruth as leverage to get Harry to deliver Albany so that he can deliver Albany to Vaughan and get Maya back.
She has quite a ride of it in the second half of the series.
Don't struggle, please. Ruth, don't struggle.
No.
It's just a sedative.
Poor, beautiful, tragic Ruth.
Just think of Ruth Evershed sitting there and pondering whether or not she could put a glass into Lucas's neck. It's a completely bizarre thought.
He knows deep down inside, I will never be able to hurt Ruth, but he has to appear to do it. And likewise over the phone to Harry.
Ruth's sedated on an anaesthetic drip. In 3 hours, she'll overdose. Her heart will stop.
You know, all the threats, Lucas John sets up a bomb, which turns out to be a fake bomb because it's all about leverage, it's all about manipulation.
I'll get you a deal. Whatever it takes.
Now who's the liar? It's about what is real, what seems to be real, and what you believe to be real.
There's such a game of bluff. Who's going to blink first between Harry and Lucas North?
Harry knows that Albany isn't real, so he knows what he's delivering to Lucas. He can deliver it because it doesn't exist.
No one else need die except me.
The bomb's not real, Harry.
Does he go up there to kill Harry? I think it's great that we all believe that. Or does he go up there to ask for Harry's forgiveness? Or does he go up there to understand who he is anymore? Or a combination of all the above? I hope we've made a series where ultimately you'll watch Lucas's journey and think, oh, I wish it hadn't been like that, and oh, and him and Maya, maybe they could have been together and maybe it would have been all right. Because I think what's lovely about Series 9 is also there's a real love story there.
In a way, she was a memory that he thought that he could go back there and that he could become John again and that they'd have a future together. And I actually think when he lost her, he realises that would never have happened.
He ends up not knowing who he is.
Turn around, please.
Lucas,
don't call me that. Turn around!
But it's quite an elegant death, non-violent death, which is sort of what I asked for.
Nothing.
You're bowing out now from Spooks. What highlights have there been over the years?
I think being strapped naked to an electric chair, having water thrown over me and sort of wired up to a car battery covered in tattoos and being electrocuted was a high point. I think the moment where he got on a chair and put his head in a noose was quite interesting because it was just a stage direction, but the director said, you know, I'll leave the camera on, however you get on that chair is up to you. So that was quite an interesting acting exercise for me.
The bomb kills whoever disarms it, so go, please.
I think Connie's storyline was really exciting. It was a complete page-turning episode. And in this series, we've got another page-turning episode where the grid is locked down and Lucas is left on the outside to try and bring an asset in. And I think it's those episodes where the team is really compromised as one unit that really excite me.
Ultimately, you've got extraordinary characters in extraordinary worlds, and I think there's something about that which just it will always be so dramatic and emotional.